Alright, to start off, one of the first things we need to do is be able to register. To be able to register, we need to put the registration marks. And when you have the simple steps, it's fairly simple to do. Once you have your design like we have here, I already have it. Not only do I have the design loaded, but it's already on the size that I need it as well. One of the first things that I do is that I make sure it's centered by using these marks here. The tabloid is going to be about 11. So what I need to do is put it halfway, so it's 5.5. So this line will now go to the middle of the page, and then I could do the exact same thing with this one here. 17.5, so half of that would be 8.5. So now I know where exactly the center is, so then I make sure that my design is at the center, which is, as I zoom in, it is. So the design is already centered, it's already to the size because I had done that prior. I could delete this if I wanted to. The only reason I center it is just so that when I put it onto my screen, they're always going to be in the center, so they're all going to be very similar to one another in regarding to where the registration marks are going to be. Once I have this, all I got to do is click on it or put a little around like that so that I could grab the entire design. I go to the advanced tools on the top right where the mouse is. I click on it. I click on Simple Steps 3. That's once you've already had that system, you'll be able to open this up. As it opens up, in my case, it's asking me for to install a new version. I don't really care for it right now, so I'm going to just put that aside. You will, in your case, you'll probably see this screen. The first thing you'll see is this. You can put on Show Color Names, so you can know if it's already in Pantone or not, because this system will need it in Pantone. So then what you'll do is you go convert to Pantones right over here. I'll tell you that it has 8 different objects and it's going to be processing. It will take a couple seconds to do. Right now it's thinking, and then automatically you see right over here it transferred the colors from whatever format they had it before to now the Pantone. You can convert to Tintin palettes, but we normally use convert to Pantone colors. Once it's already been converted, then I could go into the separations of my screens. So then I go to the separations tab on the top, and then I'm able to then here put the registration marks, or set it up so they could do the registration marks. So I could put either registration marks in the center, so it would be right in the center of the design, or in the corners, one in each corner. I could set it up. I could even set up the size if I wanted to. I normally leave it the same. It's 15 points, and registration marks in inches is 0.75. If I need an underbase, if I'm doing it in a dark garment, then I would put an underbase on it. In this case, I'm not. I'm doing it on white t-shirts. So technically, I could either 1, not have the registration marks, or 2, put the registration marks just to make my life slightly simple, slightly easier. So in this case, I'm just going to put center like I normally do. I'm not putting an underbase, and I'm going to put generate separations. If I would to put an underbase, then I would put generate underbase right here. And choking is basically to be able to make the design, the underbase, slightly smaller. So that helps you a whole lot on registration your screens. You put generate separations. I'll tell you, it's going to depend on the complexity. It's going to take X amount of time. So right now it's thinking, and voila. So basically right now it's done. I'm able to kind of close it out or minimize it, and then here I'm able to see my new screens, or what my separations. This is the original. Oh, you'll see out here the tabs. There's 1, 2, 3 tabs. So the first one is the original. The second one is that white, which is going to be the color of the shirt, so I can actually technically delete this one if I wanted to. In our case, we do delete them. We don't really need them. If I was doing it in a colored garment, then obviously I would need to have that white in there. But in this situation, I'm not. So I'm going to delete it, and then my other one is going to be this one here, which is similar or identical to this one, except with my registration marks that you see here. And if I zoom in on here, you're able to see that I'm able to also tell the screen printer what color I'm going to need. So in this situation, I need it in black. So I'm just going to type up black. Or if you have a particular you want to put like ultra soft black, you're able to put that, or if you want to put more specifications, you obviously can do that. And then you go ahead and just go to File, Print. On here, in our case, this computer could print out from any location, any printer. So on here, I'm going to put the specific one that I want. Mine is the HP OfficeJet 7000, which is the one that I was telling you that you would need. It is the wide series, so I'm able to print out the tabloids. So on here, I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to go to Preference. Then I'm going to change this to Tabloid, and I'm going to put portrait. It's fine. It fits on a portrait. You can always change it if you notice it doesn't fit on the portrait. So on and so on. On here, one of the things you also want to change is the page. What page do you want? The first page is always going to be your first tab, and I don't really need that one myself. So I'm just going to put that. I just need page 2, which is where I have the registration marks. I'm going to put Apply. I'm going to put Print Preview just to make sure. I mean, you're able to see it there on the right hand side. You could set it up that way, or you could go to Print Preview and be able to see it. You'll notice that this registration mark along with this one won't come out, and that's fine. I technically just need this one and this one, at least either the one on top and the bottom, or the one on the right and the left. Normally, for me, it's more important to have this one here and this one here. The other two are just to kind of guide it, and I'll explain why later throughout the video. After this, you just go ahead and print. Alright, so the printer, obviously, we already sent it out, and we do it on a vellum. Us personally, we use this particular type of vellum. It's up to you which type you want to use. We technically don't have to buy this one in particular, because we do have a particular manufacturer or distributor, you want to say, that has vellum, and then they cut it to the specifications of the sizes we want. We do it so that they cut it the tabloid size, which is 11 by 17. And when we'll have a big old pack of it, you could always buy these at Office Depot as well. I know there's other retail stores that could sell it for you. So once it's already been printed, as you'll notice on the printer, you want to make sure that these pages, if you have more than one, that they don't get together with one another, because as you'll notice, it will be extremely wet still, and you'll see that it looks identical to the design. And on here, you're able to see that the design is going to be in black, and all the little small details in regards to it as well. So from here, we're going to go ahead and use this particular film and be able to put it on the screen. All right, so once we have our vellum already set, we're going to put this vellum into the screen. Before that, I don't know if you guys have this or not. We personally do. Once we put emulsion onto our screens, instead of having a specific darkroom, we have this right here. This right here is basically kind of like an oven. We put the screen in there, we put it in for an hour, and the emulsion dries up. Once the emulsion dries up, even though I have light, I'm going to show you really quick. We have this right here. And this right here is where we put our screens. Instead of having a dark room, we put those screens in here. Us, we have something like this. It's also movable, so I'm able to also do the emulsions here, and I also use it to put my vellums on the screens as well, and then going from there into the explosion system. So right now I'm going to turn off the light and show you how to register them. Like I mentioned to you before, I just turned off the lights so that I'm able to use this, so I'm able to take out my screen. So this is my screen. I always place it here. And like I mentioned to you before, I put little wheels on it, so I'm able to move it if I needed to, if I need to go to another room and do it in a different room, or just for convenience, as simple as that. I also have here you'll be able to see multiple things. You'll see my emulsion. Can you see that? The emulsion here. I also have my spatulas. I have basically everything that I probably need. I have tape here. I have my ruler so I could register it here, and then I'll put my screens on the side. So anyways, I have all the necessary items that I need, so I'm able to do this. So on here, I'm able to go ahead and put this here. This side is considered the shirt side, and then this side is considered the paint side. So anyways, you put it on the shirt side, facing up. Then you're able to put this particular image, and you're going to put it facing down, so that when you are looking at it like this, you're able to see the image. So again, shirt side facing up, this facing down, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on my screen. You could put maybe one image or even two images on the same screen. For example, if you're doing like a left chest and a full back, but the back is going to be more horizontal than vertical, then you could put both of them there. But in this case, I have one large design that's going to go on the front. So I'm going to just, it doesn't have to be in a particular area, but me personally, I automatically put it where I would want it to, which is going to be about 4 fingers from the rim here, because normally my designs, I put them about 4 fingers from the rim of the shirt. So about 4 fingers from here, put my fingers there, and I make sure the design's about 4 fingers away. So I know the height is about 4 fingers from the rim here, and then these screens are 20 inches wide. So what I make sure is that it is 10 inches from here to here. So that's all I do. I make sure, using my ruler, I go from here, and it's about 10 inches, so I need to move a little bit to the right. So this right here is going to be 10 inches. This one's slightly off, so I'm going to hold this down and just move this a little bit. And this again is about 10 inches. So each side is 10 inches, and you want to make sure that, especially if you're doing multiple colors, that this one is identical to the next one. So for example, if I'm doing multiple colors, I make sure that instead of counting 4 fingers from here to the biggest size of the image, I instead do 3 fingers from the registration mark. That way every single one, because this one may be big, but then the next one may be a small little logo, or small little portion of it. So I always make sure that each screen and the registration marks are identical to each one. So it's easier to register once I put it into the 6 head or whatever amount of heads you have on your screen printing. So once I have this, I go ahead and tape this up. Depends on you how many tapes you want to put. I just put 2 of them. I put 2 tapes just so I make sure that my design does not move once I put it onto the exposure unit. So I'm going to take it to the exposure unit. I'll make sure that this rope right here is going to go across this. That way, make sure that when it sucks in and it goes all the way in to the screen, the inside of the screen, which is the ink side. That way, it makes sure it doesn't move. Now, I did put tape so the vellum won't change, or the film you're going to put, it's not going to move. But then the sucking part is a very important part as well, because or else when you hit the light, it's not going to be hitting it correctly. So once I do that, I put it in. In my situation, since mine is indoors and I have air conditioning, I do need to expose my screen for roughly about 15 minutes. Your store, since it's maybe a warehouse or whatever the case is, may not have air conditioning. It may be different. Humidity is a huge deal as well. Depending on your humidity, will depend on if this is going to need more time or less time. There is a particular way to find out how much time you need to do, but you'll have to do a test for something like that. If you like, I could do another video explaining that. But as of right now, just in regards to registration, this is one of the fundamental parts. So once I do that, I go ahead and press the on button, and in my case, it starts warming up. Once it warms up, I'll go ahead and turn on the light.